Morning, everybody. We're just waiting for a few more minutes just for some other people, just in case we've got some late arrivals. Just checking. Can you put a note or show your hand if you can hear me? Any of the guests? Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, lovely to see you. Thank you. Morning. Well, it's evening for some of our guests here tonight. Morning, Jeff. Morning. Now, we think we have sorted out how the presentation will be, but if you find that the slides aren't moving, can you please just drop a note to us? But we think we're a well-oiled machine this morning, that there'll be no technical hitches. But yeah, if you can just make a little note to say that you can see us and the slides are moving, that would be great. One more minute and we're going to start. Can see me, but not the display. Message has just come up. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jeannie. Right, we're going to start. So thank you, everybody. Morning. My name is Shubra. I'm from the ANZCRO UK team, and my colleague Castor is on the call as well from Australia. We have some fantastic suppliers who are joining us today. We have Catherine from Tropical Tourism Northern Queensland. We have Karen from Crystalbrook Collection, and we have Billy T Safaris with the last presentation to discuss more about the Daintree and wildlife that you will find. We have to say a thank you to them for joining us, because obviously it is their evening, so appreciate them giving up their time to be able to be with us. Hopefully at this point you'll be able to see the slides moving across, and I'm just going to introduce Catherine. So thank you.
Hi there, my name is Kath, and thank you so much to the ANZCRO team for having us online this afternoon, or afternoon, your morning. So we appreciate your time today. So I'm going to, the informal introductions have been done. So I'm going to welcome you to Cairns and the Great Barrier Reef. So we're going to take a deep dive into our beautiful destination. So this is Cairns and the Great Barrier Reef, and we acknowledge that we live, work and play on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander lands, and we pay respect to the past, present and future. So tropical North Queensland size rivals most of Australia's whole states. So we are a bit of a brag here in tropical North. We have 2,500 experiences within the region, and we also have 1 in 5 people that work in hospitality and tourism. So starting just north of Ingham, so as you can see on the map there, we go all the way to the top of the Cape York area, across to Torres Strait Islands, and west inland to Northern Territory. So our region is really well suited for high value travellers and young adventure seekers, honeymooners, and anyone looking for a beautiful tropical destination to enjoy. We're very strong in the self-drive market, and we also are the main entry and exit points to the region. When that's actually in Cairns, that's highlighted there on the map. So very well visited areas are places like Palm Cove, the Northern Beaches, Port Douglas, and Cape Tribulation. But we also have really great destinations like the Atherton Tablelands, which is like the Australia's food bowl, and also Mission Beach, which is a really coastal, beautiful area. So we will touch on a bit of aviation landscape for you today. So we have exciting new flight connections, making it really easy to get to North Queensland than ever before. So Singapore Airlines, as you probably are aware, fly direct 5 times a week with 40% more business class seats than ever before. So if you're combining places like Australia and New Zealand, I've just actually come back from the launch of Jetstar's new Christchurch to Cairns service, but we also have our direct aviation from Auckland with Air New Zealand as well, which happens seasonally for our winter time. And of course, all of our normal, Australian domestic connections. So if you're booking things like the 12-day tour with ANZCRO and you're doing a traditional type of itinerary like the Reef, the Rock, and the Sydney Harbour, then we have all of those gateways available with our Australian domestic aviation connections. So we're going to take a look at our beautiful destinational video. So hopefully that has made you nice and warm this morning with our beautiful destinational clip. So why choose tropical North Queensland? Well, there's plenty of reasons why, and I guess my 2 other guest speakers today will talk to you about our luxury experiences within the region. We are the gateway to the Great Barrier Reef. So you can start your adventure on the World Heritage listed Great Barrier Reef, where you explore the reef daily. So you can do snorkeling, diving trips, and they're all available from Cairns, Port Douglas, the Cape Tribulation, and Mission Beach areas. So the day trips to the Great Barrier Reef, well, you can do those with Down Under Cruise and Dive. They have a vessel called Evolution, which has a gold class lounge, exclusive experience for up to 7 guests. There's new experiences such as Reef Indulgence with Reef Magic, which includes a heli trip with private facilities for $14.99 per person. And then there's some really great eco experiences with locally owned companies journeys such as Passions of Paradise and Sail Away. You can also do your really adventurous trips like the ocean safari trip from Cape Tribulation. So you don't need to be an avid scuba diver or a strong snorkeler. You can visit pontoon areas, or you can do some of your outer reef experiences with glass bottom boats and a semi-submersibles and underwater observatories. We also have beautiful islands and sand caves. Some of my favorite Great Barrier Reef experiences, I'm a massive scuba diver. I've dived the region hundreds of times. I've lived in the region for over 15 years. And I have to say that some of my favorite experiences have been living and breathing the island experiences. So you can do a luxury lodge experience on Lizard Island. You can do a day trip just to Green Island or Fitzroy or Low Isles, which are only about a 45-minute cruise. You can also do your scenic helicopters, and these are available for most pontoons, and they are normally done from Cairns and the Port Douglas regions. We also have expeditions, so cruise is massive within our region, so you can do that with Coral Expeditions with multi-day touring excursions, and they normally go to the northern Great Barrier Reef and some of those exclusive island experiences. Some of my favorite times on the Great Barrier Reef have been on a liveaboard, and you can do those from 1 to 3 to 7 night experiences. You don't have to be an experienced diver or an experienced snorkeler. You can tick that bucket list item, get out there, sleep, eat, and then be amongst the fish there on the Great Barrier Reef with products like Pro Dive, Diver's Den, and Spirit of Freedom Mike Ball. Adventurous products, well, we are the adventure capital of Australia. We say that over and over. You can do learn to dive experiences, intro dives, helmet diving, you name it, we've got it on the Great Barrier Reef. So this is a very special part of our presentation. We are the only place in the world where 2 natural UNESCO World Heritage Areas sit side by side. So this is the Great Barrier Reef and the Cape Tribulation area. So this is gorgeous, and Jeff will touch on this today. You can meet and hear the storytelling from the oldest living cultures in the world. So the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and you can gain deeper insights into their connection to country, and the travellers can embark on exciting tours led by Indigenous guides. It is a must-do when you're visiting our area. So our region is perfect for an awesome drive trip. So we have really popular routes from Mission Beach to Cairns, or Cairns to Port Douglas and Cape York, and of course the Savannah Way. This image is actually taken from Tala Beach. Now Tala Beach has 700 coconut trees on their acreage, and you can just stop there. You can have a nice lunch if you like. You can stay overnight in their nature reserve, or you can just pick up a coconut, knock the top off of it, have a sip on your way to your scenic drive to Port Douglas. So it's a very, very special place to drive through. You can eat your way through the tablelands. So this picture speaks for itself. Beautiful colours, great tropical fruits. It is the fruit bowl of Australia. So most of our visitors indulge on like the macadamia nuts, avocado, lychee, papaya, bananas, mangoes. I'm a bragger, so we've got it all there in the Atherton Tablelands. So if you're a foodie, it is a must-do to come and experience the Atherton Tablelands. But it also boasts really expansive tea and coffee plantations and amazing dairy farms and ice creameries. So yeah, you never leave our area skinny, that's for sure. So you can dine outdoor with our locals. So as I mentioned, 1 in 5 people work in tourism or hospitality within our area. We are a very friendly bunch, a warm hug after a city stay. So that's, yeah, it's a nice feeling to come and dine outdoor with some of our locals. And this picture is taken from the Whiskey and Wine Bar at the Crystalbrook, Flint. So Karen will talk to you a little bit about that. But yeah, we love to engage with our international guests by having a a cold, crisp local beer or a beautiful Australian wine. So the golden sands and crystal waters of the northern beaches. Now, all of our area is lined with palm trees. And as we spoke about, we are very friendly. So most of us on the line live in the northern beaches, and it is our way to end our day. We literally, this is a crowded beach for us. There is no traffic, no crowds, and plenty of fresh air. And everyone gets to swing from one of our palm trees. So yeah, Trinity Beach, Palm Cove, Ellis Beach, 4 Mile Beach at Port Douglas are some of the favourite spots for the coastal beach lines. So I know that Western Australia, everyone would have heard of the quokka. Now we have our beautiful rock wallabies. And again, probably Jeff will have a little bit of a chat with you a bit later on about our Australian wildlife. Now these are cute rock wallabies. They're everywhere. So we stop along the road even as locals, and yeah, these photos actually taken by one of my friends. So yeah, they come really close, and yeah, we have in close encounters with koalas, with crocodiles and other Australian iconic wildlife. Now, this is just grandeur in itself. I love this picture. It just shows you that you can get lost in nature within our area. We have beautiful hiking trails. We've talked about self-drive, so you can stop in at many areas in our national parks that are throughout the entire region. If you love trekking, it is your spot as well. Tropical North Queensland is not just about coastline, it also has a beautiful red outback. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but it's like the mini Australia. So we have the blue of the Great Barrier Reef, and then we have the lush green of the rainforest, but we also have amazing outback experiences. So check that out with the ANZCRO team. Let's have a touch on luxury accommodations. So we spoke about a little bit on the island stays. So this is Lizard Island in the left-hand corner here. As I hover around the Outback Lodges, this is actually Mount Mulligan Lodge. They have an all-inclusive experience. You can do stargazing, ATV tours. You can have as much food and wine, Australian food and wine as possible. But as you can see from that landscape, it is a really, really beautiful way to experience the region. We also have our tree houses. This is in the Atherton Tablelands. It is phenomenal. You're up in those trees houses, and that's a local owner. This is Rose Gums. Yeah, meet and greet is beautiful. You're immersed in nature, surrounded by a national park. There's also, believe it or not, just a farmland behind that, and you can do things like your hot air ballooning and then your foodie experiences. Karen will touch on the 5-star hotel. Now, this is a beautiful location of the Crystalbrook Riley, and behind the lady in the nightgown there is one of our, what Karen will explain as a beautiful tower there that also has an on-site beautiful restaurant. We have our rainforest stays. Now, this here is Silky Oaks. So Silky Oaks is also a must-do if you wanted to be just away from people, you wanted to take a book from their library and just chill out for a few days. It is a beautiful place, a luxury lodge of Australia. We also have our charter vessels. So as we spoke about, the gateway to the Great Barrier Reef is the Cairns area, or the Tropical North area. We have a phenomenal amount of charter vessels. If you're not looking at booking charter vessels at this point, it's probably something that you should look at. It's becoming a really big trend for multi-generational families in their way to visit the Great Barrier Reef. The luxury experiences, again, helicopters, sunset sailing, private dining, sunrise, hot air balloons, shopping. We've got great art. We've got great Indigenous art. We have amazing local designers, and we've also touched on our luxury charters. So I'm going to hand over to my beautiful friends within the region. My name is Kath, and thank you so much for your time today. And over to Karen from the Crystalbrook Collection.
Thanks, Kath, and thank you everyone for joining us today. So Kath's given you a really great rundown of why you should come and stay in tropical North Queensland. So when you do land in Cairns, you can come and stay with Crystalbrook. Crystalbrook is a relatively new five-star hotel company located mostly around the east coast of Australia, but we have 3 beautiful five-star properties in Cairns. So we built these. I think the first one we opened or started building was in 2018. We did that because there'd been nothing new built in Cairns for over 20 years. So 10 minutes from Cairns Airport, you have 3 five-star properties. All 3 properties are walking distance to each other, and importantly, walking distance to the Reef Fleet Terminal, where your clients are going to go and do trips out to the Great Barrier Reef. So our very first property is Crystalbrook Riley. This is a 5-star resort and is located at the northern end of the Cairns Esplanade, overlooking the Coral Sea. A beautiful sense of arrival at Riley. You kind of watch people arrive and watch their shoulders drop as they exhale and relax. That's what we look like. So pretty spectacular swimming pool area. The low-rise portion of the resort you can see there in white all have balconies. In the tower, I'll show you what the rooms look like in there shortly, but we have rooms in that tower and a fantastic rooftop bar. And that gives you another perspective of your the resort rooms. So the room types here, your lead-in is urban view, and I'll show you what an urban view is shortly, but generally this is your resort view overlooking the swimming pool. The ones at the front are sea view, and then we'll look at urban view shortly. Our beautiful 1,000 square metre swimming pool with its own private beach. It has a 25-metre lap pool and an infinity edge up at the Coral Sea end, so really nice spot to overlook the Coral Sea. And that's what we look like inside. So beautifully appointed rooms. Like I said, all the low rise have balconies. And then we go to the tower. Floor to ceiling glass here. This is a little bit like being on a ship. And Kath mentioned Lizard Island. This room type is your panoramic sea view room. So it's the top room category. These rooms are booked a lot for pre and post Lizard Island guests. So that gives you a bit of an idea of the quality of the accommodation. And who doesn't like a view from their bathtub? And of course, fantastic suites. We're quite renowned for our dining options here, Kath mentioned before. So Paper Crane is our Asian fusion restaurant. That's located on the ground floor, indoor-outdoor dining, and actually where your clients will have breakfast every morning. Rocco is at the top of that tower. This is the highest rooftop bar and restaurant in Cairns and has 270-degree views across the Coral Sea and back towards the mountains. So definitely where your clients need to go for their sundowners. And of course, we now have Calypso Club. This is at the base of the tower, and this is kind of like a Caribbean rum seafood offering. So really lovely dining options and a day spa. So Crystalbrook Riley, 5-star resort. That's for your clients who want to lie by the swimming pool, sipping cocktails. So think Riley for relaxation. Crystalbrook Bailey is 1 street back in Abbott Street by Cairns Aquarium. So the tower that says Bailey is our 255-room 5-star hotel, and the tower next to it is a residential tower. We have 38 1, 2, and 3-bedroom residences in there that you also have access to for if you've got families travelling together. Crystalbrook Bailey was a new build and opened just before COVID. Very much a tropical feel to Bailey, and it pays homage to the Daintree rainforest. And that's what an urban view is. So across all 3 of our properties, when we say urban view, it's not a brick wall. It's looking out over Cairns itself and back towards the Atherton tablelands. So not a bad view. And that gives you another perspective. So Crystalbrook Bailey is really good for people who have been out touring all day and want to come back to the luxuries in the evening. Swimming pool up on level 3. And I'll just give you a quick glimpse into the residences, because that's really important if you do have families travelling together. Proper apartments, so full kitchen, fully equipped kitchens, washing machines, tumble dryers, and their own swimming pool, and barbecue area. So they're really nice for families or groups of friends. Dining options here. CC's Bar and Grill is our signature restaurant. And this won at the 2022 Catering Awards in Australia, the best restaurant at a hotel or resort in Australia. So we're pretty proud of it. Like I said, we've certainly changed the face of Cairns. Patchy Mama is our South American restaurant up by the swimming pool. And Art is a really cute little cheese and wine bar where clients can go and have a little sip before they head out for dinner. Crystalbrook Flynn. Now, this was our third property we built. This is 311 rooms and suites, 5-star, of course. And this is at this southern end of the Cairns Esplanade. So this is where you've all seen photos of Cairns itself and the lagoon swimming pool. It's straight across from there. 2 towers, 2 glass swimming pools overlooking the Esplanade. So this is our human aquarium. And again, beautifully appointed rooms. And these are the suites. They're very luxe. Actually, staying here, getting up in the morning and taking photos of the sunrise is absolutely spectacular because you've got the mountains off to the right. It's really beautiful. And again, great dining options. Boardwalk Social is kind of, I guess, like an upmarket pub offering, and it's on the ground level. Now, out the front of Crystalbrook Flynn now has all been pedestrianised, so no more cars. So it's a really great spot for locals and guests alike. Lots of different beers on tap, lots of different gins. If there's a sporting event, the screens drop down, so it's a really fun gathering spot. Flynn's Italian is up on the first floor, and this is Flynn's Italian pays homage to the Italians who first came to work the sugarcane fields up in Cairns, and this is where your clients will have breakfast every morning. Kath mentioned whiskey and wine bar, and it has everything as well as whiskey and wine you could possibly want, and another great terrace for sitting out for sundowners and overlooking the Coral Sea. And then lastly, of course, being a 5-star hotel, we have a day spa there as well. So Crystalbrook Flynn, think F for fun, because that's at the end of town where all the restaurants and bars are. So everyone goes, why did you build 3 hotels? They're very different and appeal to a different demographic. So keep in mind, Riley with the tower, the northern end are for relax. It's a resort. Bailey for people who want to be out touring all day, come back to the luxuries in the evening. And Flynn, F for fun, because that's the end of town where all the restaurants and bars are, and it's actually closest to the Reef Fleet Terminal where you go and do your trips to the Great Barrier Reef. And lastly, what's very important to us is responsible luxury. So every room across all of the properties in the Crystalbrook Collection has an Apple iPad that's fully loaded with the resort or hotel information, room service menus, touring options, so no plastic and paper compendiums. Water comes in glass bottles, and we have filtered stations around the hotels or resorts. Room keys are recycled wood. Coat hangers are recycled birthday and Christmas cards. Even our toothbrushes are sugarcane and cornstarch. And we now have climate calories on our menus. So this tells you how and where the food was sourced. So generally, all ingredients is from a 3-hour radius of each property. We have specific guidelines of the packaging it's to arrive in, and it tells you things like our fish is line caught and not net caught. So we're doing some really cool things in that space. So when you have clients coming to tropical North Queensland, they land in Cairns, 10 minutes, they're at one of these beautiful properties, and they can come and stay with us before they go off on the rest of their adventure around the beautiful tropical North Queensland. Over to you. Jeff's next.
Okay, thank you very much. That was brilliant. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Kath. My name is Jeff Cameron Smith. I'm from Down Under Cruise and Dive and Billy T Safari. So there we go. That's the one I wanted. We've been taking guests on day trips to the reef and the rainforest for over 40 years, and we remain one of the few local family-owned and operated businesses in the region. The first slide I'll show you here just gives you a bit of a lay of the land. Now, visitors have traditionally come to Cairns to snorkel and dive in the Great Barrier Reef and to explore our ancient rainforest. Now, we're one of the few companies in the enviable position where we can do both for you. So yeah, so this map just gives you a bit of a lay of the land. So under the brand Down Under Cruise and Dive, we offer Great Barrier Reef cruises on the region's most luxurious catamaran Evolution, which Kath spoke about earlier. It includes exclusive gold class lounge if you do have some high-end clients that want a private charter, but without the private charter price. It's a nice option. With Billy T Safaris, we go up north to the Daintree Rainforest, which I'll talk about mostly today. And we also head out west to Outback to the Chillago Caves, which is the only Outback tour available in the region from Cairns. Just got to get back to 1 sec. Let's try. There we go. Right, now, as far as vehicles go, first impressions are everything. So your guests are not picked up in a regular coaster bus or a city van, but one of our iconic Billy T Safaris custom-made vehicles, and they're suited to the places that we go to. They're 19-seat, fully air-conditioned four-wheel drives, oversized viewing windows. They've got seat belts, aircon, and we continually reinvest into the product. So currently, out of the 5 vehicles we run, there's none that are over 3 years of age. So it's a nice modern fleet. And you can book these vehicles on a charter basis as well. So have the whole bus to yourself. And if you booked close to all 19 seats, it's roughly £100 per person. So it's actually a really affordable way on a charter basis to get to the forest. Now, what I've done here on this map is I just put a little yellow crocodile. Now, you'll be able to follow that crocodile around the map as we move, just so you get an idea of the places that we're visiting and what's at the different spots. So the experience starts with a really spectacular coastal drive. Now, the road stretches 140 kilometres. It's late here, from Cairns up to Daintree, and it gives you views right out across secluded palm frond beaches and out over the Coral Sea. And on the other side of the vehicle, look out the left-hand side, we've got the ancient rainforest-clad mountains. So the road passes by the charming beachside suburbs, Palm Cove, Port Douglas. We pick up in both. Even Taylor Beach, Silky Oaks will do pickups in both of those as well. So the lookout that you can see on this photo here is just one of the spots we stop en route where you can get out and have a look, stretch the legs a little bit. This is Rex Lookout, which is also a popular spot for the local hang gliding club, which we often get to see in action. Right, the first stop actually in the Daintree itself is on our river cruise. So we have a quick morning tea and then a 1-hour Daintree river cruise. Now, the primary focus for most people is spotting one of the region's apex predators, our saltwater crocodile, or salty, if you're speaking Australian. Now, there's always excitement when one of those comes up and right alongside the boat, but there's a lot more to see as well. Other reptiles, amphibians. We've got over 430 species of birds, kingfishers, herons. The elusive southern cassowary you've probably heard of, which I'll speak a bit more about later. The yellow bird up there on the top right is our olive-breasted sunbird. Now, he builds these really flimsy nests. It's basically often on a vine or a twig that can hang over the water. They stick together grass and leaves and any material they can find using spider web. So they use the spider web as the glue on this nest. And the reason they make it on these really flimsy looking branches is that all this food in the area tends to attract pretty decent sized snakes. Now you'll see the snake we've got there. That one is amethystine python. It's a video I took myself about a year ago out on the river. Now this is a constrictor. It's not venomous. Basically relies on its size just to wrap around its prey and take them that way. It could swallow a rainforest wallaby, no problem at all. A small dog, no problem at all. But nothing to be alarmed. They're not so they're not venomous like most things in Australia. This one's just a constrictor. So plenty of opportunity to ask questions of the guide as you go along on the river cruise as well. Yeah, so that's a real highlight of the day, a good starting point. Next stop, once we cross over the river, is the Alexandra Range Lookout. Just a beautiful photo opportunity. No hang gliders this time. Just a nice view and one of the really popular photo ops for the day. You can see that croc moving up to Alexandra Range Lookout if you're following on the map. From there, it's on to lunch. So we have a lunch stop and a swim. Lunch is served in this beautiful rainforest setting and overlooks this crystal clear, ultra refreshing waters of Cooper Creek. Now you get steak, fish, it's normally barramundi. We have wraps, pasta, they cater for all sorts of dietary needs, allergies. And this is your opportunity here to have a rainforest swim and cool off a bit. The water's cool, it's clear, it's fairly fast moving at times, so it's not conducive to crocodiles, so no concerns there. They prefer the warmer, murkier waters, Daintree River, for instance, so safe from crocs. And the guide will go down with you. They'll point out whatever's around for the day. You get chance sightings of jungle perch, which is a type of river fish. Saw-shelled turtles are common. Regular sightings of the Ulysses butterfly, really dazzling electric blue butterfly. And if we're lucky enough, the platypus. Now, the platypus, a really weird-looking creature. It's one of the 2 monotremes you'll find in Australia, an egg-laying mammal, pretty rare, only found in Australia. Now, the platypus looks a bit like an otter, webbed feet, a bill like a duck, and being an Australian animal, of course, it's venomous. It's got a little spike on its back leg, which you just want to avoid, but you're not going to get that close to a platypus, I'm sure. But yeah, so lunch, rainforest swim, then back in the vehicle. Now, next stop, one of my favourite part of the tour, guided rainforest walk. Now, it's only an easy walk. It's 45 minutes to an hour. It's low grade. You know, we supply bug spray and umbrellas if it's wet or there's lots of critters around for the day, but heaps to see, lots of wildlife. You see ancient ferns, palms, these enormous woody vines. There's epiphytes, there's climbing plants, orchids, all clinging to the branches and limbs of these giant rainforest trees. It's really quite spectacular to see. Then down below, all the shady area down below, all the shade-loving mosses, the invertebrates, the nutrient recycling fungi that litter the forest floor. This really intricate web that shaped this fascinating environment for over 180 million years. So there's a lot of history here to be seen. Now, this is also your best chance to spot a southern cassowary, which is up the top right there, you'll see moving around. An incredibly important rainforest gardener. He's crucial to the survival of this rainforest. You'll see in the video he's picking up fruit. Now, they eat over 200 varieties of fruit, and a lot of the larger fruit, they're the only animal that can eat it and swallow it down without destroying it. You get the smaller animals with the sharp teeth, they'll destroy the fruit. The cassowary will swallow it down, pass it out the other end, and the seed is ready to germinate and grow into a rainforest tree, and really aids in dispersal because the cassowary, as you see there, doesn't stay still. It moves around the forest and keeps the forest nice and healthy. The other one down the bottom left, you'll see this unique creature. Looks a bit like an English hedgehog, actually called a short-beaked echidna. Now, he's incredibly well protected by those spikes. You never manage to pick him up, even if you wanted to. Now, this is the other monotreme. This is like the platypus. It's unique. It's an egg-laying mammal, only found in Australia. And in the Daintree, we can find them both. How cool is that? All right. Next stop, we go up to Cape Trib. Now, Cape Trib is the northernmost point of the tour. We're getting there probably 3 hours into the tour. Now, we have a guided beach walk there, or the time is yours to wander off and just have a look around at your leisure, just relax on the beach. Now, this area was named by the famous British navigator, James Cook, who you'd be well aware of, back in 1770. But long before Cook got involved, this area was, and it still remains, of immense cultural value to the local Kuku-Yalanji Aboriginal people. So part of the tour is explaining that to people and the Indigenous heritage of the region as well. So fascinating history that goes along with all the places that we visit. Now, last stop of the day, this is a really nice way to finish. We're going to the Daintree Ice Cream and Tropical Fruit Farm. So as part of lunch, you do get a fruit platter. When we go here, you get to see the fruit actually growing on the trees. Now, they grow dozens of fruits on site. You'll see just most of them there, actually. Lots of names you've probably never seen before. And they combine that with this organic dairy from the local Tablelands area, and they make these incredible ice cream. It's not Ben & Jerry's. It's like nothing you've never tried. It's incredible ice cream. And we give you a signature cup where you get to choose 4 flavours out of this. So from there, it's a cable ferry back over the Daintree River, and then we head our way back home. So that's the day in a nutshell. There is a quick little video I'll just play on the next slide, which just gives you, it sort of wraps it all up so you get a bit of an idea of how it all goes together. Let's go over to that now. Okay, so that's pretty much it for me. I hope you found it interesting. Most importantly, I hope you found it. You're leaving more enthused to share our special part of the country with your clients. And so good luck. It's over to you. We're generally excited to welcome your clients to Cairns and the Great Barrier Reef region. So thanks again and catch you later.
Thank you for that. I was very fortunate to have travelled to Northern Queensland, and I had to take one for the ANZCRO UK team because I had to go and stay at the Crystalbrook Riley, and I had to go and sample the cocktails and the meals, and it was really tough. And then I also went to the Daintree as well, and you know, absolutely, it's just so enthralling when you go there, and the region itself, it's, you know, I went many years ago with a backpack as well, and the region has changed in all of that time. I think I went about 25 years ago, and the region has really changed. And you know, there's been a lot of investment in the area, and it's just a fantastic place. I think sometimes when, you know, your customers are traveling all around Australia, they kind of come to the end point and, you know, end up in Cairns and around that region, and then don't go beyond that. There is so much to do. I mean, definitely have your kind of relaxation elements, but it's still worth kind of doing that little bit more and traveling to Port Douglas and up to the Daintree and the Mosman Grange. And yeah, it's just ensuring that hopefully by having this presentation, getting an understanding of the region will help you be able to sell to your clients what Northern Queensland can offer. Now, we have put some packages together, and these are all sample packages that you can find, I mean, on our website, and we'll be doing a follow-up with the recording and details of all of the different presentations. But if you'll have a link to our website as well, and we've created these really fantastic itineraries that you can showcase to your clients. Also with that, we've also got an incentive. It runs until the 17th of April. 18th of April is obviously Good Friday, so even we have to give our team the time off. But with that, you've got up until the 17th, whereby if you include a 3-night stay in Northern Queensland, we will present with an Amazon voucher at time of deposit payment as well. So it's something that can be added on to the end of a tailor-made Australia itinerary. At this point, if anybody has any questions, I mean, take advantage. They're staying up. They're giving up their evening. So if there's anything anybody would like to ask, use this opportunity, you know, find out more about the region, about the Daintree, the tours, the hotels. Now, I know a lot of you on this call, I know you're not shy. So if anybody wants to take advantage of this, I can't believe you're a shy lot. Wow. Okay, it seems so. If you think of anything afterwards, I mean, we'll be sending all of the contact details of everybody, so feel free to drop them a line of any sort. But other than that, I just want to thank everybody for attending today. Thank you for giving up your time to be able to showcase this wonderful region. I'd like to thank our suppliers for dialing in from Australia. Really appreciate, you know, them giving up their time to be able to do this. And yeah, if we can help you in the UK as well, I mean, you all have my contact details, but again, it'll be in the follow-up email. But yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having us. It was great.
Yes, thank you for organising. Amazing. Really appreciate it.
That's fine.
Thank you. And we'll see you in region soon.
Yes, indeed. That's on my plan next. So, thank you, everybody. There's a few questions coming through, so I'm just going to answer those.
We'll hang around for a bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's regarding the presentation. So, yeah, we will just answer some of those. Okay. So presentation wise, yes, it can be used for marketing. Obviously the website will have the package sample pages, so you can use that to send on to clients as well. Obviously with our Facebook agents group, you'll also find example copies of itineraries that we've put together as well. Thank you, everybody. I think that was the last question.
Shubha, before you go, it's Jeff.
Hi.
Yes. Hi, Shubha, and thanks for a great presentation. Can I just ask a quick question of Karen for Crystalbrook?
Of course.
When you're saying about, obviously it's good, particularly the Bailey for touring.
Yep.
Have all the Bailey hotels got good parking, free parking, etc.?
They've got parking. It's not free. All three
Right.
properties have parking.
Okay. Is that booked in advance, or could it be paid
No,
on
you don't
arrival,
need to book
etc.?
it in advance. No.
Okay.
And also, I
Perfect.
forgot to mention, actually, with all those dining options, if you've got one of your clients staying at Flynn, the one with the glass swimming pool, they can go and have dinner and drinks at Rocco at the top of the tower and cross-charge back to their room. So when your clients are staying with us, they have 9 different dining options across our 3 properties. So it's pretty cool.
Perfect. Thanks.
Any more? Okay. We're going to end the presentation there. So thank you again, everybody, for attending and really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, anytime.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.